Xbox One X launches. Yeah. All right.
This episode of Comically Gaming is brought to you by Blockhead Printing. For all your custom nerdy shirt printing, cons, parties, or gaming clubs, this is a full-service, badass screen printing company. Check out blockheadprinting.com.
This week we're going to be doing our Stranger Things 2 Spectacular. And for news of the week, it's going to be Xbox One X launches, Gamestop rental programs, Bendis goes to DC, Rian Johnson decides to direct three new Star Wars trilogy movies, and TV show in the works by Disney, and then finally Marvel in talks to buy Fox. Dun dun dun.
Boom.
Stay tuned.
What up, everybody?
What's up?
Gaming, what are we at? 78?
78.
It's a big week.
78.
Probably as long as I'll live. 78.
You'll be lucky if you make it that far with our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So before we get going, I just wanted to say we missed this a couple weeks back. Our Twitter followers are over 500 at this point, so thank you everybody there on Twitter hooking us up.
Super awesome.
Yeah, I think we're almost like 528 or something last I looked, and that I gotta say, unlike my personal Twitter account, which I farm the crap out of and try and get as many subscribers as I can, we really don't try with the GCandC. So really, really super awesome that we're over 500. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. All right, let's get it going with this week's news. No, not the news. Our week's. Corey.
Not news.
Corey, kick it off.
Um,
No.
Not. No.
I didn't do a whole lot this week, actually. All the shit to play again. I don't know, I kind of gave up on Gravity Rush 2. It looks cool, it's just kind of boring after a while. I've still been playing Golf Story. That's probably what I played the most this week.
Still good?
That's sweet. Yeah.
It's awesome. Huh?
Still good.
I knew it.
Doesn't get boring after a while? Is the story what's bringing you back, or what's the story with it?
Yeah, the story and the gameplay, I mean, it's all good. It's really funny. But yeah, the story's awesome, and I don't know, it's not really like a deep story, but the characters are sweet, and it's really funny. And then it's just a good golf game on top of that. It's a good game for sure.
Nice.
I can already say I'll probably give it an 8. Like, it's not like one of the best games of all time, but it's a good golf game, and it's got a funny story with it, and I don't know, I like it.
That's what you gave Zelda, an 8.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
story.
it's as good as Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't have Mario in
Sure.
it.
But other than that,
You're not going back in Mario and getting 900 moons or whatever?
I might at some point. There's still 2 levels that you unlock by getting moons. I kind of want to try and get those at least. But I'm just, now that I beat it, I'm taking my time. But then I played our weekly shit, Gran Turismo. Sweet.
So much fun. Can we say, just a shout out there, anybody watching the show who has Gran Turismo, we got a standing Sunday night, 12:30 a.m. Eastern time, where we're rocking it together. We get a group of like 6 or 7 people, so and you can fit 16. So anybody who's interested in playing with us, hit that up, because it's so much fun.
Totally.
I can't believe how much fun it is.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I got Jeff's down. Although he started drinking, so he's gonna be drinking and driving. He said he's not too confident, but
Perfect.
yeah. But then I got my buddy Jeremy. I got
sorry.
him to get it.
And then, if I can interrupt, remember Jack, who kicked our asses in dirt?
Yeah.
He's in tonight too.
Oh, jeez.
Great.
Yeah.
That guy's really good.
He is. Yeah. He's a pro.
Yeah, and then my buddy Jeremy, I convinced him to get it. He just didn't know if he'll get it before tonight. And it doesn't sound like he has, but yeah. And I did terrible at Golf Story again. Fucking Vortex.
Everybody's golf.
Yeah, everybody's golf. So that was cool.
It's making me resent the game. How bad I am at it.
Yeah.
That was just a bad week, Nate. You haven't been playing that bad before that.
It's true.
No.
Everybody has a bad week.
Bad weeks. So.
And not all of us have time to practice like Adam.
Or me, apparently.
But, yeah. And then I started reading. I've been spending most of the week trying to read Why the Last Man.
Nice.
I'm up to episode or issue 42, I think, out of the 60.
Can you say what's going on without spoiling anything, or is that impossible?
They just got to Japan.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So, yeah. And then, yeah, I think that's about. Oh, I read Coyotes. It's a new Image book.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. How is it?
It's pretty good. I like it. I don't know. It's like a first issue. It's kind of introducing everything, so it's hard to tell off the first issue, but
What's
it's cool. So, it's about these. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like these
people across the border.
kind of, but actually, here's the description: Underworld meets Sicario in this new series from Sean Lewis and the amazing new artist Caitlin Yarsky. Hunted by a legion of wolves that roam the border, women are disappearing. The survivors band together to wage war. Directive Frank Caffey is trying to understand this mythic level bloodbath when he comes across Red, a little girl with a secret and a sword. Ultra violent and smart as hell, Coyotes transforms the everyday into a myth we can rally behind.
Huh.
So it's
Keep knocking them down.
It got a bunch of good reviews. It's number one, so I checked it out. It's pretty good. I'll read the next one. Keep you updated. But and then I watched The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
nice. Okay.
It's great, isn't it?
Josh Wonder.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, you had talked about it a while ago, a couple times. So I was bored and was trying to think of something to watch, so I watched it. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I was shocked.
Weird.
Mom and Dad said that they didn't get it. I was like, what was the point? I was like, really?
Wow.
Yeah. That's surprising. But
I just love it, without spoiling anything, when everybody gets unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
That is some of the coolest shit ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The scene after scene just nails it over and over again. It's great.
Really awesome. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect going into it, but yeah, really good. I think the scariest part of the whole thing was like when they flashed the title on the screen when you jump. but yeah, it was awesome.
See, that's the best. When you go into a movie and you're not really expecting anything, you haven't watched really trailers or anything like that, and it's just a complete surprise.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea where they were going to be going with that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's my week.
Sweet.
All right, Dirk.
Pretty much, I guess the same as Corey. I didn't do that much. I'm a bum. I lay around and
that's good.
Don't do anything, I guess.
That's true.
I didn't even do as much D&D, I think, this week. I flirted with buying Xanathar and didn't do it because it was $50, but Jeff, of course, beat me to it. You want to show him the copy, Jeff?
I did.
So, Jeff, are you going to DM that then?
That's a source book.
It's a source book.
Yeah.
I'll explain to my part of the week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's so much. It's basically like a second player's handbook. So let's see. I watched Stranger Things season 2.
Yeah.
Killed that. Started reading Descender. I got volume 2 of that. I started last week. That's the one I mentioned in the show last week. Continues to be incredible. Jeff
Nice.
Lemire. Yeah, it's awesome. I got Black Science by Rick Remender. That's an Image book from 2015, I think. I've been seeing it popping up, and I just said, screw it, I'm going to buy it. And it was like $10 for volume 1, so.
Is it
That's still
ongoing?
ongoing.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's still ongoing, right, Corey?
Pretty sure, yeah.
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 But it started 2 years ago, so I think 2 years ago. Played some more Last of Us.
Still not liking it.
No, I do. I like it. I just get aggravated with it. I get aggravated when I play the same scene like 6 times, and
It happened to me several times in it, for sure.
I was like,
so can you say stuff without spoiling it where you're at now?
yes, yeah.
Where are you without spoiling anything? What city are you in?
I'm not in the city that you mentioned.
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
Haven't gotten there yet. I don't know how to say anything without
Forget about it.
spoilers.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. And then I guess the most momentous thing that happened this week is my wife read a comic book for the first time.
Wow.
It's pretty dramatic. And she started reading it without telling me that she read it. And then she was like 3 issues in, and she was like, so I picked up your Black Panther and started reading it. And she's like, I love it. I was like, oh my God. And then that happened like right after she got the...
That's
nice.
awesome.
It's getting crazy, right? So I was, of course, like on cloud 9, like, holy shit, this is. I started throwing content at her. She's like, no, I can't do all that. Yeah, I'm like, Saga, why the Last Man? Come on, just doing all that. So we'll take it, 1 issue at a time. Let her get through Black Panther.
Baby steps. Baby steps, Dirk. Baby steps.
Yeah. I'm shocked though. I didn't think she would go for like I didn't know which one, and it just seems like the odd man out for her to pick up and get into. But
That's cool.
right in time for the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got this.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty dope.
That's awesome.
The chick from the Zelda,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the water people. The
Link should have went for her.
Yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean? She
I
wanted
thought
it.
she was cooler than Zelda. So.
because
Yeah.
Zelda's damaged good. Zelda keeps getting kidnapped all the time.
Yeah, that's truth.
It's like the princess
Yeah.
in Mario.
That's
Just
pretty
came
much my
out.
week. I'll just end it on this. The Saints are 7-2,
Oh, geez.
and that's it. That's my week.
All right, Jeff.
Man, I don't know what. I didn't do much either. I did my everybody's golf and
Beat
did
me.
okay, I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
did
this
all
first
right.
week you beat me.
Ah,
I think
Vanessa
Yeah.
got him by a stroke. Yeah, but she asked what place you were in, Jeff, because she's like,
she's coming.
he's been doing well lately.
I'm doing
Getting
all
better.
right. Edited some D&D and Bud Xanthar's Guide to Everything.
Yeah. So what's up with it?
Oh, man.
To make Dirk jealous.
So many new
So-
subclasses in there.
Yeah, there's a ton of subclasses in here for all the different classes. They opened up Monk a little bit. Looked pretty sweet. I want to play a Monk now.
Read the one about the sorcerer to Corey.
Oh yeah, they
That
opened up
was sick.
because it's good for YouTube. Well, before I get into that, I mean they opened up and they have a slew of stuff for B shapes for druids.
Oh.
So I was like,
Yeah.
Darwin? No giant beaver.
No.
Giant beaver. A giant goat though. I don't know how effective a giant goat can be.
You can milk
Some
it.
more.
Oh, my God. Jeff, don't say
If we're
anything.
hungry.
Keep the leash on. He's trying. He's dying.
Milk a cat fucker. Shadow magic for sorcerers. Creature shadow. It has some
magic, Corey. Shadow magic.
It has some quirks that you can assign to it, like your touch is always icy to the touch, or your heart beats once per minute.
What happens with the shadow?
It's like a subclass. Like clerics have domains, like light domain, life domain.
Okay.
But this is sort of like your martial type for a fighter.
Sure.
So this is just a subclass for
a sorcerer.
For sorcerers, so like Eyes of the Dark, Strength of the Grave.
It's crazy.
So
it's subclass for sorcerers. I'm not going to read the whole thing here.
It's abilities that you would get as you level up in that subclass.
So is that book like a partner book to the regular player's handbook and can be used across everything?
It's like an expansion.
Okay.
It's a big addendum.
Sure.
Supplement to both players, the player's handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster's Manual.
Right.
Because it has a chapter for players and then it has a chapter for DMs.
Okay.
And then it actually has a section for creating a more immersive backstory for your characters.
Nice.
It has more magical items, new spells, names for generating random NPCs.
Sweet. Is it 5th edition?
Yeah, it's 5th edition.
Okay. Awesome.
It just came out.
They basically wrote it from Unearthed Arcana or Unearthed Arcana.
I have all those. Yeah.
And so you can use it to supplement your game. You don't have to use it because it always refers back to the Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master Guide. But it expands more on like using ability scores and how invisibility checks work, and just it's really, I haven't read it all yet. It's a lot.
Now I need it.
It's a lot.
Now you need it.
Yeah. Sounds like Corey really needs it.
yeah, he does. No. I mean, I was looking at the cleric one, and there was a new subclass for clerics that is pretty beastly, and I was thinking about being in Ravenloft using it, and it's perfect. It's like the grave domain.
Okay.
And I
want all that monk stuff, man, because that's what next time I play a campaign as a player, not a DM, I want to make a monk.
Yeah, they have the Drunken Master in there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's pretty badass. And then I binge watched both seasons of Stranger Things
in a week,
in 4 days.
That's crazy. I mean, it's 18 episodes. It's not, but still, that's a feat, and you should be applauded for it.
Yeah,
it is pretty impressive. So, that's about it. I've just been reading Xanthars whenever I get a chance, and
gotcha.
I wish we could re-roll characters. No,
I know. It's always tempting.
Well,
all right, Nate.
Go ahead.
No, good.
Okay. Well, so in my week,
how's your week, Nate?
Yeah, we talked about Gran Turismo already. The one thing Corey failed to mention is that we beat Wildlands last week, and great, really great. The ending was way better than I expected it to be. I did not expect it to be a good story ending, and it was. So I can't talk enough about Wildlands. I would never play it alone, but if you got a group of friends to play it with, really, really good time.
For sure.
Read The Walking Dead 173. Awesome. Jessica Jones number 13.
Jessica Jones, yes.
Yeah, Jessica Jones.
My God.
Especially great book, and especially the end makes me really, really sad about some of the news we're going to talk about this week. But can't talk enough. Jessica Jones, one of my favorite books for sure. Definitely the biggest surprise, and my biggest thanks to Dirk so far for him introducing me to stuff. Jessica Jones is good. And then I read Saga chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So
Damn.
I'm gonna try and read my few books that I'm on top of, but everything else I'm dropping for Saga. Power and Thrill. Saga's clearly
It's worth it.
Awesome. Yeah. So cool. I love it whenever they go to a new place. Just the character designs that they create.
It's unanimous too.
For the aliens and stuff there. It's just so excellent. And then the main characters, right? So without spoiling anything, just both of them have so much charisma and so much coolness to how he wrote them up. If instantly you like them from the start of the book.
It's my favorite.
And then the universe that they're put into is so interesting, and like I say, the character design and all the stuff. It's just I'm in love.
Yep.
So yeah, that Stranger Things as well. Powered through, I don't know, the last 5 or 6, which obviously this is our Stranger Things Spectacular. That'll be our spoiler topic at the end of the show. So everybody join us for that.
Well.
Yep.
Well.
So.
News of the week. News of the week. News of the week.
News of the week. All right, number 5. Xbox One X launches. Yeah.
It's like a marquee deal, right? It's like high-powered system, with no new Halo game.
No
new games, period. It seems like that are nothing that's exclusive to it. The Xbox, the one thing that I think that they're doing right now is that every game runs across everything.
Yeah.
It's just, how much do you care about the extra things? So, everybody makes fun of the 6 teraflops and nobody knows what that means. Clearly if you have a 4K TV and you want to play Assassin's Creed Origin or Shadow of War this year, that's going to be your best experience, is to buy it on that machine. It's also $600, right?
Yeah.
And the Xbox One.
That's $100 per teraflop.
Right, exactly.
That's a lot. I mean, a teraflop is a lot.
And the Xbox One S is actually on sale right now for $180. So it's really.
That's why PlayStation dropped, I bet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It is.
Yep. And so I don't know. For me, not having a nice TV right now, this isn't even a consideration in my life. And to be honest, like me and Corey have talked for a long time, I hate the fact that these companies have tried to turn consoles into the cell phone model. They just want to sell a new one every 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
That's bullshit to me.
Yeah.
My entire life, since I was friggin' 4 years old, we've bought a new console every 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
And it was a big jump every time we did it across the board. And console gamers, they don't want to be PC gamers. The people who like the incremental upgrades already are doing that on their PCs, right?
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. To be honest, if I had $1 million, I'd have an 80-inch 4K TV with the Xbox One X for sure. But the life I'm living right now, that's definitely
not going to happen.
I don't see a way to go away from PlayStation at this point.
And the thing with 4K TVs is there's no broadcast content right now in 4K.
Dirk, what are your thoughts? Xbox One X?
Well, I was just going to say, in general, I think there's always going to be an option for the super rich. It's not necessarily always for the masses to have that. I guess 4K, yes, at some point there will be some shift. But as soon as 4K drops for this group of people, there's going to be an option beyond that costs more for people that can afford it. So, I don't know. It's just ring around the rosy,
Well, and they push a perceived obsolescence.
Yeah.
They make you think it's obsolete when it isn't. It's like Apple. Who wants to spend $1,000 for a fucking another goddamn thing?
Yep.
Yeah. I've never. I mean, I don't know. I was never an Xbox person, even from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
either.
I mean, if I'm buying a new console, it's a Switch. Sorry, Jeff, but that's what it is.
Yeah, I was in the 360 days, and I actually own a ton of 360 digital games. Where if I bought an Xbox One right now, I'd have a ton of shit on it, like right off the bat. So there is that. But yeah, $600 and I don't have the TV. It's not a consideration. You know.
No.
You know, the other thing is it's not as much of an alternative. Like they share a lot of the same content, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like Nintendo actually provides a separate thing, like an idea that it's not. It's just a different console completely, whereas Xbox and PlayStation just go back and forth. I mean,
if Nintendo didn't have all those exclusives on the Switch, if all of those games were on my PS4, I wouldn't be buying a Switch.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true. Microsoft has no exclusives. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I thought about that right now. If I bought an Xbox One, what games do I really care about? Like Halo 5?
Yeah.
How big's the list beyond Halo 5? I don't know. I don't think it is anything.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing.
Well, Microsoft is trying to be the innovator for 4K, because what launched PlayStation into limelight was when they superseded
my
the
PS4 has 4K.
Well, yeah, but they're trying to make it like their forefront technology. Like when PlayStation came into being was because it beat out Sega CD, and it was the first one of the best, not the first, one of the best console games that ran off of CD at the time.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. I mean, I got a PS4 Pro, and I can play. Like you said, I mean, there's no exclusives, and everybody I play with online has PS4, so
Right.
I'm not gonna spend $600 to play Halo. But
$200 console now.
And if I were gonna get the Xbox, I'd get the One S for $180 to play Halo. But I got no reason to spend $60 on the One X or whatever.
600.
I don't have 4K either, so
Yep.
yeah. All right, number 4. They talked about this a while ago. Dirk tried to put it on the show. We got more details. The GameStop's new rental program, is it live now?
I think
Are they-
November 19th,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, soon.
Right.
And then you got to get your orders in
Sunday?
before January 1st?
It's next week. Yeah, it's next week.
Sunday.
Yep.
$60
Go ahead.
for 6 months. Unlimited rentals of used games, and then you get to keep a game at the end of the 6 months. So, sounds too good to be true.
It better not be scratched. That's the only thing.
Yeah, sounds too good to be true, right? So what I'm thinking about it when I saw that, I was like, damn, I guess I have to do this. And then I'm trying to run it through in my mind, like, why wouldn't I do that, right? Because a game costs $60. So you get unlimited games for 6 months, and then you keep a game. So why wouldn't I do that? Because, I don't know, I have a digital library that I kind of like right now.
Yeah.
And if you rent stuff, you can't. Like, but I feel like, to me, bottom line is price. Like, I kind of over the years have kind of given up on collecting, and it's more about I just want to play current stuff and whatnot. So the GameStop thing would be good for that. I guess the other negative that I could think of is that if I walk into the store and they don't have what I'm looking for, sort of thing, so it'd be interesting.
Right.
I wonder if it's just like you go up to the shelf and anything that's used on the shelf, is that your rental pool, or do they do a different thing, or what is it? You know, so it'd be interesting to get some details. Yeah, and then that keep a game, is it just like whatever's the last game you have when 6 months rolls off, you just don't go back anymore, or is there more to it than that? You know, but on the surface, this sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
Yeah. I noticed there was a caveat about something with Pro members, the GameStop Pro members.
Yeah. So
and then they said there's a free option.
Yeah, so I'm subscribed to their free option. Every time I go in there, they try and sell me the new one.
Same here.
If you ever go in there, you need to be subscribed to the free one because you get points for everything, right?
Yeah,
you get
that's what I
shit
have.
for that. So yeah, it is a caveat, but I think anybody who's a gamer who's watching this because they want to hear about games probably already has that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds awesome. I mean, get more
We'll
details.
see.
But
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the only thing is the digital library, like you said, that's my biggest deterrent. I mean, that I'd really like having, and in multiplayer games that you go back to. I mean, we'll still want to buy those. Shit that we play every once in a while with each other. We can't run to GameStop and rent that for a night, be a pain in the ass, and then we'd have to return whatever game you're playing. And I mean so certain games you still might want to own, but if you're playing, I don't know. I mean, if you're playing single player games and you're playing more than one every 6 months, yes, that is.
I would use it more for sure.
So.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to do it in conjunction with that, Corey. Like you say, like I'm going to buy Gran Turismo because I know we're going to play Gran Turismo for a long time now, right? But having this makes it so that I could have already tried Shadow, or I could have already tried Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? At least just check them out for a few days and then return them and go back and get something else. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely going to try it. I'm definitely going to give it a trial run and see how it goes.
Yeah, I probably will too.
Yep.
So, all right, number 3. Big news.
Big one.
Bendis leaves Marvel for DC.
Man, that's Titanic.
So,
yeah,
Dirk,
that's huge.
You're clearly the biggest Bendis fan out of all of us. You're the one who introduced him to me, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't know what other than what he's currently doing, like his history, like his greatest stuff. Like, I don't know.
I'll say. It's not that I'm necessarily like a massive fan, because I do have issues, here and there. It's just that he was, he was near godlike status in terms of Marvel power, creative power.
Right.
I mean, he helmed so many of their big crossover events, and had a big say in the direction of even the MCU. That I imagine, because it's going to be an exclusive multi-year deal with DC, he'll probably have some say in the DC EU now, which might be awesome.
Yeah.
For me, that doesn't like DC movies. He's just, even if you don't necessarily like his writing or whatever, he's such a massive creative force, and he tends to write like 5 books at once. I mean, he's finishing up these few at Marvel right now, but he's writing like 4 books at Marvel right now, including one of their best books. So, I think it's massive, and I think it's going to affect so many of their properties in between both. I'm hoping. I don't know what Marvel is going to do. I don't know what their plan is, who they're going to attach their ship to, but we'll see. I mean, I think it kind of evens the playing field out a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of came out of nowhere too.
Yes, it did. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And I did read that there's no animosity. It wasn't. He's not leaving Marvel on bad terms. He wanted a change.
His contract's up and just time to.
He just wanted something different. Yeah, I mean, imagine he's going to have access to Batman, Superman, not to mention, and he's already talked about this, he's going to get into the minor characters at DC. That's what he's looking at,
Right. Yeah, I'd love to see who gets the Jessica Jones treatment, right?
Yeah, man, that's a heartbreaker.
That could be cool.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like, of all the DC characters, like, does he take over? Like, I don't know. I couldn't even think of one, but some sort of minor character, and run
he can
with
do
it
that.
The way he
and
did
then
with Jessica Jones.
Also, he has access to Vertigo now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he would take a DC character into Vertigo. I don't know what Vertigo. I haven't gotten a Vertigo book in a little bit, but it's sad though at the same time, because I mean, Jessica Jones is his baby. He created Jessica Jones, co-created. He co-created Miles Morales. You know? So.
Yep.
Be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, sure. Well, all right. See you at DC, Bendis.
Yeah.
Number 2. Ryan Johnson, director of The Last Jedi, before it's even out in theaters, has been signed up to direct the next Star Wars trilogy. And also, there's a Star Wars TV show in works with the Disney streaming service.
Let's talk about the TV show last. First, let's talk about this first thing. Like, clearly a big vote of confidence, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen
Huge
The Last
vote.
Jedi yet. It makes me more excited about The Last Jedi.
32 days.
Right. Yeah, we're almost there. I was in the toy store today just looking at all this Star Wars stuff and just being like, fuck, why can't it be here now? I'm so excited. But so this new trilogy, what you didn't say, Corey, is that it's completely outside of the Skywalker storyline. All new characters.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, they didn't say about the timeline. Like, I mean, to be honest, I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? What is Star Wars?
Good. I mean,
I think they
expand the universe.
Yeah, I think they proved that they could do it when they had Rogue One be so successful.
Yeah,
that's what I think. That's what I think did it. With the success of Rogue One and how awesome that movie was. Yeah, just puff up your chest.
It's a Rogue One shirt.
Oh. And I think after that, that's what sparked this, even before Last Jedi actually gets released. Because, everybody at Disney has already seen it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
That's what I think is striking. And it might be good. I mean, if they take it in the true sense of Star Wars, like Rogue One was, and keep it true to heart, to the original vision, I'd be on board watching it. If it goes Jar Jar Binks, then no. And,
no, I don't think they'll
they
ever
know
do
better,
that.
right?
Yeah,
they'll
never.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Rogue One was awesome. I'm down with some new characters. Seems like everything's always in the Outer Rim, and I mean, let's see some new places, some new characters. I'm down if it's good. So.
That's a great title, The Outer Rim.
For sure.
There you go.
So then the second part of this is actually angers me, is that there's a TV show in development and it's only going to be available on Disney's streaming service. So
they're taking their Marvel stuff, right?
Yeah, they're taking all their
I read that too. They're taking the next. Looks like I'm going to subscribe to that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, right? And
No.
that sucks. Like,
Give in to Disney.
I'm going to watch that TV show, right? Like,
I held back subscribing to CBS for Star Trek.
This is a little different.
Yeah, if you have all the Marvel and all the Star Wars, I got to do it.
Only different in your mind.
When you're talking about one show, we're talking every Marvel show. I mean,
including the Punisher.
Right. This spells doom for the Netflix shows, right? Like they're gonna wrap.
I was reading that they're gonna move them over.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I read they're moving them over.
Yeah, but it just sucks. The future is this world where there's a million streaming services, and I can't afford to buy them all. And so, when you pick and choose those, I hate it. So I guess eventually it's going to play out where a bunch of them are going to fail, and they'll have to kind of come together and get each other's content or whatnot.
Yeah.
So like broadcast networks.
Right. But yeah, we look at like what's going on with Amazon right now. It seems like every week that the Millar world, which we're not going to talk about, it every week.
Even though we got 2 votes.
Every week there's something new that's on Amazon that I feel like I need to watch. So it's like, okay, now I'm going to pay for YouTube, Amazon, and Disney stuff in order to watch everything that I want. It sucks.
Yeah, but Amazon has the trick where everything's locked in, the Prime, all that,
Yeah.
So I think it's a better deal in that respect.
And Disney talked about, they also mentioned that their service is going to be super cheap, is what they said. They didn't say the price, but they said it's going to be more competitively priced than Netflix is at this point. So,
and Netflix just raised their rates in December. They're raising their rates.
Yeah, like
they're
if
getting
Disney
too cush.
Is $5 or something, then that's.
I mean, House of Cards just got destroyed by all that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, they
It's a whole
got
nother story.
both chunks of news at the same time happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll get it if it has all the Marvel and the Disney stuff, and then I'll go watch Stranger Things season 3 at my buddy's house, and I'll be good.
Marvel needs to bring that heat, though. They've been slipping on that.
Yeah.
Step it up.
For sure.
Well, I think
For
what
sure.
Corey's talking about though is all the movies,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Every Marvel movie ever will be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
And
that's-
Star Wars, and
yeah,
I mean,
and Star
Yeah.
Wars, right?
That's awesome.
The only way I'd subscribe to it is if Disney released the original theatrical releases of the original
do it.
trilogy.
They're gonna do it, Jeff,
No.
just to get you.
No, it's been keistered in George Lucas's trust.
but
It's keistered.
what do you think about a
forever.
Star Wars TV show in general?
No.
I mean,
I mean,
my first impression is not a good one, right? My first impression is the Christmas
The Wookiee
right?
Life Day celebration back in 1979. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, but you know, I would think. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I would think that Disney would throw Game of Thrones money at this thing, right? Because
Yeah.
if they do, if I see the trailer and it looks fucking awesome, then it's a done deal, right? I'm not even
Yeah.
considering. I'm just gonna give them my money, and so you would think that they're smart enough to know that.
yeah, it's got to be some Game of Thrones content, though. It just can't. It can't just be
Agreed.
Star Wars and empty.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%.
What kind of Game of Thrones content, though, Dirk?
What?
What
Just-
kind of Game of Thrones content?
Dragon.
A thick ass story is what he's talking about.
Season 5. I'll say. How about that?
But all right,
And
number 1.
Boom.
boom.
Although they
Mar-
slipped a little bit, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Marvel
Updated, yeah,
might be buying Fox.
in talks.
All right, so
The deal's going back and forth.
currently they're not in talks,
Oh.
is what this said. But they also said that the deal's not dead
Right.
altogether.
That's the last thing I read was it wasn't dead. And I think, yeah, Fox is apparently trying to narrow down to just news and sports. So they want to get rid of their creative department or content. So they have no need, and they want to use that money that they would be selling that to Disney for to reinvest into their news and sports, which is problematic in its own.
Let's stay away from that side.
Neither
of the
here
story.
nor there. Point is, Marvel would get the Fox stuff, and maybe not all of it. Maybe X-Men would stay, and they would just get Fantastic Four. That's what some people said, and some people like Corey and some other people I read online would be happy, I think, with just getting Fantastic Four back, right?
Well, and
Yeah, that'd be
Deadpool.
awesome. I mean, I want that. I want everything back.
I want everything back. Also, I want to see what Disney could do with X-Men, and I want to see Deadpool and Spider-Man together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
real.
For sure.
for sure.
Think about the rated
Yeah.
R Spider-Man movie because it's with
Oh.
Deadpool.
Dude, that
Think
would be-
about how awesome it would be. God,
Imagine
that would be
Venom.
awesome.
Imagine Venom. What they could do with Venom.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Venom's that's a different deal actually, because Spidey's got that
Sony.
exclusive deal. You know, all
Oh,
the
that's
other
true,
Spider-Man
yeah.
shits with Sony still. You know,
Right.
but buy them too. Disney, fucking, you're making enough money, right? Just take the dump trucks of money.
From Star Wars.
Well, just look. I mean, the X universe alone. There's so much content there
Yeah.
to make any sort of great. I mean, just amazing movie out of. So, do it. Just pull the trigger. I don't care about the repercussions anymore.
And at first, when I read this, I thought that it was going to be, that people were just talking shit again. But I don't know if you guys saw that Fox's stock actually jumped so high that day that this news kind of broke that Wall Street froze it. So if Wall Street's moving on it, then there's obviously something behind it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right.
get her done.
So
Get her
Disney
done.
on Fox and ABC.
Just not all of Fox, just the
The movie properties.
movie.
Yeah,
properties.
not the comedy or the sports coverage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Uh,
It's your news for the week.
Okay, it's community spotlight time. This is where we give the love back to those that give it to us. Those who subscribe to our channel this week and also have YouTube channels and share their subscriptions, we can see that, and we just want to send some love back. If you like what we do, if you're listening to the audio version, please head over to our youtube.com/GCandC. Go down in the description, and in there we'll have links to all these channels. Of course, it's internet spelling, so we don't try and pronounce this stuff.
I got this.
Is what it is. Okay. All right. So I want to start out with, I believe that this is Cookie. And Cookie, I actually met her through the Coaching for Geeks from a few episodes back. If you remember Rami, she was talking about her YouTube channel on there. And then we touched base over Twitter and went and checked her out. So it looks like a fun time for sure. And then Martin Craigson, we actually gave a similar shout out to recently. He gave one back to us this week, shouted us out in the nice video where he's walking through the English countryside. And appreciate that, Martin.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure. I got Okie Pickman Turner Eddie.
That would be Pokemon Trainer.
It's Pokemon Trainer is what I read it.
Right.
Okay.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okie Pokemon Trainer Eddie EMG. Okay, yep. Salty Cakes and Super Nintendo.
I've got quote unquote Gamers Bay. I don't know what those quotes are about.
They're in this YouTube title.
Gambit 896.
Okay,
And
I just want to say I spent a lot of time on Gambit's page this week. He goes deep on comics. We do a lot of video game stuff when we go through these YouTube channels, and Gambit's definitely got some deep comic book content. I'd suggest those of you who are here for the comics
check it out.
Them out. Yep.
And Majestic Entertainment News.
That's pretty official sounding.
Yep.
I have 5K dislikes,
Nice.
Elite Drogo TV, and Dromus Gamer HD. All one word.
You nailed that shit, Jeff.
No.
All right, so every week, if you're new to the show, we give out the coveted Name of the Week award.
Yeah, that's gonna be
nothing
toughy.
Other than the names, I've struggled with this one earlier today when I was looking at our list here, and I gotta go though. Give it to Super Nintendo. That's who I'm going with.
All right. I'm gonna go with 5K dislikes.
Yeah, that's
who I was
number
gonna
2.
go with. 'Cause I like that one. It stands out.
All right, so 5K it is.
I like an
5K
antagonist.
Right.
I like that.
5K dislikes. You win
like
coveted Name of the Week award.
Right.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to go full spoilers here on Stranger Things Season 2 and 1 at this point. Before we do that, if you're about to leave because you haven't watched Stranger Things, please check out our website. It's got the links to everything that we do across the internet on there. You can find that at gamescomicsandculture.wordpress.com.
Yeah, we're on Twitter at GCandC.
If you choose to, you can support us, please, at patreon.com/GCandC.
And thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music and Xee Reiter for our awesome logo.
Appreciate it, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, how you doing? So before we kick out to the Stranger Things Spectacular, just want to say next week Justice League's going to be out. We'll talk about Justice League. It'll be the Justice League Spectacular. And the week after, we'll finally get back to the Comic Book Club featuring Star Wars number 38. So if you haven't read that yet, go grab it. Yep, check it out.
Sweet.
So, for those of you leaving, this has been Comically Gaming, episode 78. Thank you very much for joining us.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you for sure. Definitely.
Thanks.
All right, and if you're stuck with us here, you've seen all the Stranger Things. We're going full spoilers on Stranger Things here. If you have not watched through season 2, then go watch it. Come back, watch this episode. Right? Full spoilers here. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
All right.
Damn.
I guess before we go deep, let's just kind of go round robin real quick. What are your thoughts? Like,
I took so many notes.
just overall, what do you think? Just a brief overall.
Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Dirk.
I'm gonna say not as good as season 1, but up and down. I had scenes that I really liked a lot, and then I had some that there was like maybe 1.5 episodes I wasn't crazy about. But overall, I'd say it ended really well.
Okay, Corey.
I really liked it. I agree, not as good as season 1. I think at this point it's the characters are what make it so great. The story is not too wild, and I thought the story in the first season was better because we didn't really know what was going on with the Upside Down and everything. Now that it's all out in the open, nothing too crazy and new happened with that whole thing. So I thought what made it so great was the characters and their interactions with each other. But they're awesome. I thought it was really great. I just love the whole vibe of the show, and the characters are great. I think they're what make it awesome. I think the only episode I didn't like was with the
11 one,
number
right?
number 8's crew.
Right.
Right.
Really? You didn't like that one?
That guy was terrible.
It was such a left turn out
Let's
of
go
the.
back.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that.
Because I could talk on that episode because that was an homage to the Warriors.
I know what it was. I can pick out every
Whatever
single
it was,
movie
I
that
didn't
they're
like
giving.
it.
Yeah.
I could talk on that.
Okay, Jeff. What are your overall impressions?
I liked it. I mean, it was really nostalgic, just for me growing up in the '80s. At the point where I wanted to start eating Hamburger Helper again for some odd reason. No, I liked it. I liked season 1 was good because you didn't know what was going on. Season 2 wasn't as good in some ways because it had the same ebb and flow as the first season, but I liked the better character development in season 2.
Okay.
But overall, it was really good. I like it. I like the story. I like the setting. I was surprised that was Winona Ryder,
right,
and Matthew Modine and Paul Reiser and Sean Astin. But
Paul Reiser.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was good. It's a good show.
I feel like I'm a little more down on season 2 than the rest of y'all. Like I feel like I definitely still really like it, but kind of along the lines of what Corey said, that season 1 was so special because not only because of the kids, but because of like the suspense and the psychology. Like there was a point in that where you didn't know, it could have all been in Winona Ryder's head. Like when the faces are stretching out of the wall and the lights are blinking and stuff like that, there was a point where you had no idea where they were going to take it. And in season 2, now that everything is all out in the open, it's just good versus bad. Let's go beat this monster thing, and so I feel like it lost a lot in that, to be honest.
It did.
The kids were still great. In particular, I really, really liked the Hopper and 11 thing.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming, and their relationship was so great because of this. But yeah, the rest of it was, it just seemed like, I don't know, it just lost a lot where it wasn't heady anymore. It was just, let's go. It was like a alien movie or something. It was just, let's go defeat these monsters. You know what I mean? And to me, that lost a lot. But still really great. Still, in my mind with television, I hold Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad are like up here, and then there's like this next tier that's got like Legion and Stranger Things and a few other things in it. You know what I mean? And
What other things?
The Preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could think of if I sat and thought about it. There's a few other ones too.
I've got to be honest. I don't think this touches Preacher. I mean, not season.
I haven't finished season 2 yet, so I can't talk shit. But anyways, so I just that's kind of where I put it. You know, to me, I felt like in season 1, I'm like, oh my god, this is my top 3 sort of thing, and now it's more comfortable and it's still fun. The kids are obviously still great, you know, but again, it lost a lot to me in season 2.
Yeah. Just some quick notes. I had issues with some of the song choices.
Okay.
I thought some of them were great.
Yeah.
But some of them were so heavy-handed and ridiculous.
I agree.
I mean, when she goes to New York in episode 8, they play "Runaway" by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
She went to Chicago.
Or Chicago, wherever, big city. There was no need to like club me over the head with it. That first episode, it was like a Scorpions remake of Rock You Like a Hurricane. It wasn't the singles version.
No, it wasn't.
And then, I mean, I will say this: I did enjoy the shout at the devil at the party.
Yeah.
Totally into that. I was like, and I have mixed feelings about Billy. I thought he was so corny to kick off the show initially. I was like, this is like every fucking 80s bully, rolled into one.
Yeah.
It was.
But he started to grow on me as the series went on a little bit.
He grew on me as the antagonist. The human antagonist. Because they tried to make Steve the antagonist in season 1.
Yeah.
But his character development took a complete 180 left field kind of.
Yeah.
He became sort of the, I don't know.
I think Steve is more complex of a character. I think he's just a more layered character.
Yeah.
Whereas, Billy is just like your paint by numbers.
I think they were going with that for the stereotypical just 80s.
I
kind of lost. It reminded me a lot of Keith Sutherland in the Lost Boys.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
agree, Dirk, though, 100%. I thought that the whole Mad Max storyline was unnecessary. The whole thing, her and her brother, you could have taken that out, and I wouldn't have cared one bit.
I think what they're doing is setting up for season 3.
I liked her, but her storyline with her brother and the struggles and the move and all that stuff, is like, I could have done without that.
You know what it feels like to me? That and the introduction of the second sister feels like new content that they're putting in to extend to season 3.
Yeah.
They could. Well, they had to bring in new characters, but I think with Nate's right with Max and Billy's story because they set it up to almost give the impression that they were going to be the main antagonists throughout this entire season.
Right.
And it didn't pan out. They tried to set up this huge, backstory that was all dark and secretive, and then you come to find out that it's just because
his dad's an asshole.
Right. They moved from California.
Yeah. When it started off, you thought there was going to be something crazy going on.
Yeah, right. Some like meth lab or some shit.
Yeah, I wish it would have gone darker.
Yeah.
Sure, I do too. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I felt like it was going to go in that direction.
The scene I think they could have completely not even used was when Mike's mom was in the bathtub and his dad's asleep. Really? I thought it was unnecessary.
They're going to play that the next season. It
wasn't necessary, but I thought it was funny as hell.
They're setting it up.
He acted great, I thought, in that.
And my nitpick about bringing back what the 80s looked like, I mean, they were really good with the details of everything 80s. The Tupperware containers.
The D&D.
The D&D, the tab cans. My only complaint is at season 2 when Hopper had that M16, the handguards on the M16 was not something that was available back in 1984.
That's
right.
I'm sorry. I'm like, no.
I wouldn't know that, but that is funny. So the one thing, before we go any further, you talked about Steve over there. I thought Steve was one of the highlights of the show this season for sure. I thought his kind of
really
growth,
grew on me.
Yeah, and to where he kind of, and it seemed like through just everything that he experienced in season 1, kind of made him grow up, right? And when he realized that his girlfriend was going to dump him, He does still get his ass beat, but for the kids and stuff, right? And to try
Right.
and save the world, basically.
It was a cheap shot too. He grabbed a plate.
Yeah,
hit him on the head. So
Yeah, but he was great. I thought his character progression was some of the best in this season.
yeah.
Yeah, him and Dustin hanging out.
Right.
That was good. I like that.
Yep. I think I was kind of bummed actually that Nancy hooked up with.
Really, Jonathan?
Yeah, because I kind of like Nancy and Steve. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I didn't think I would, but by the end of the series, I was like, when he's looking at her through the gym and then drives off, I was like, damn, Steve. Like,
I like Nancy and Jonathan.
I like Nancy and Jonathan.
That's funny.
The other thing, the D&D references were amazing.
Yeah,
I
let's
almost
talk about that.
lost
Yeah,
my
it's
shit
better.
when they said Mind Flayer.
I know.
I was like, whoa!
Yep, and now
I was
that's
just
the name
like,
for the
so-
monster, right?
Yeah,
The,
I was so in.
Also, I thought the best line of the whole season was, "It's a manual."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was definitely the best line of the whole season.
That was
I
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
thought.
Fantastic.
I did. I was hooked when they opened up with them playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Second edition, I
Season
think.
1.
Was that first edition or second edition?
First edition.
First edition.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the artwork. It's I think it's mostly in black and white or something. It's like sketches, but yeah.
Yeah, and that was such a classic just view of how D&D used to be played back in the 80s. Was down in the basement, just all gathered around, throwing dice.
It's awesome. Well, okay, so one thing that I did find that was better in season 2 than season 1, only marginally, but it was enough for me to notice it and say, like, oh my god. The original score was already amazing in season 1. But season 2, I mean, I'm buying that shit day it drops.
Yeah.
I think the vinyl drops December 22nd or something. I
It's been
thought
so
it was
long
just
since I heard season 1 that I didn't really compare the two, but that's interesting.
it's not as in season 1 it's noticeable, but it's not as in the forefront. Season 2, you could hear, I mean, there were moments, not to deal with the songs, like the pop songs that they strum, but the original soundtrack by Survive was just phenomenal. I mean, some of that music actually harkened back to the 80s, but not directly. It's
I
like
noticed that, yeah.
the memories of what you had of 80s movies and played on that, and then added sort of their own twist in there.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
I thought it
guess
was great that they that how much they put into thought for everything 80s. I'm like, where did you find an old 82 Pinto hatchback?
Right? Yeah.
And Billy's his Camaro IROC Xee.
Oh God,
Dude, I was like, dude,
that thing was sick.
but yeah, everything that it's just that's why I wanted Hamburger Helper again.
Yeah,
Because man,
dude, all right.
Hamburger Helper is so good.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
So the one thing that I'll say kind of unique from the parent perspective. So my kids 9 and 11, we started watching season 1 with them, and then we realized that we needed to get through season 2 quicker, and we kind of dropped it about 3 or 4 episodes in with them. But watching it more, the scene where Bob dies,
Oh yeah.
that kind of officially crossed the line to where I'm like, I don't know if they can watch this.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny.
That was pretty heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job up until then of keeping it kid friendly, but good,
Yeah.
but cool for adults, sort of thing. And that scene's pretty rough, I gotta say.
Well, I mean, actually, when Muse dies, it's pretty.
that's pretty.
rough.
Yeah.
pretty
I thought that
gruesome.
was crazy. As
you're right.
I mean, as a cat owner,
that was
I was a
kinda so
little
quick.
shocked.
That's kind of so
Yeah.
quick that I could be like,
It wasn't that
it
quick.
is what it is.
Bob's
But
But
death
that's just like,
scene was monstrous.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
It's like,
Bob's
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
And I do feel like again that it was too foreshadowed. I thought you knew Bob was gonna die.
Dude, I knew
Yeah,
it.
you did. Yep.
Second I saw Sean Astin, I knew he was dead.
But other than that, he was really great. I thought he was another highlight of it.
He
I was
was,
really
yeah.
happy with his character and whatnot.
Paul Reiser was great.
Yeah,
I mean, Paul
it
Reiser
took me a while
wasn't as Paul Reiser-y as he normally is, right up until the end when he cracks that joke at the table.
That's when I figured out who he was. I didn't tie the two together when I saw his names in the credit until like I think episode 6.
That's
6 or 7. And I'm like, holy crap, that's Paul Reiser.
So, what do you guys think about Winona Ryder? Like, I've seen it's kind of up to controversy, and we were kind of having a discussion here in my living room with my mom and my wife last night. Like, you know, it does seem like I actually enjoyed her. It seems like she's playing a character part for sure, and my wife thinks that she overdid it into like a cheesy degree, and I've seen that all over the internet. Like, what do you guys kind of think about her performance?
I didn't have an issue with her.
I thought she was fine.
I did not, because I was watching her and trying to look at her. I think the whole time I was trying to see if I could pick out like similarities between when she played in Alien 4. Yeah.
Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection, and when she played in Beetlejuice and Heathers.
Heathers.
She in
Yeah,
Heathers?
she's in Heathers.
And I didn't see that.
Edward Scissorhands.
I saw more maturity. I didn't see that dark black hair, black eyed kind of brooding.
Sure.
It's not
ages.
goth anymore. Right.
No, I didn't see that at all. I thought it was a fresh character for her, and I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah.
I've had friends' moms, similar. So
I've had a crush on her since I was like 12 or something.
I still have a crush
Yeah,
on
I
her.
can't-
how weird was it to
I
see
didn't
her
separate
making
that.
out with Sean Astin?
Yeah,
That
weird,
was kind of
for sure.
creepy.
It
It was kind of. It was like making out with Samwise Gamgee or something.
Very
Potatoes.
Yeah, there was just so many. I mean, what I was Okay, so in the first season, I found that when they referenced 80s movies, they did it more seamlessly.
Yeah.
Where you kind of you had trouble you were like, oh, that looks a little familiar, but it wasn't as evident. Whereas season 2, it was a little evident which ones they were pulling from. If you've seen
the Warriors, yeah.
Yeah,
the Warriors,
right.
For sure.
I mean,
Warriors, I didn't really tie when Barb dies in season 1 in the pool with Jaws until looking back at it, but that's just like in Jaws, being pulled under the water.
yeah.
I thought it was a good homage, but the Warriors went a little far. I didn't like the Warriors when I saw it.
Oh, you're nuts.
I know.
Warriors is great.
I think it's the video game that killed me.
The video game wasn't great, but the movie's great. Yeah.
But
that's funny. So let's talk about episode 8. Also, it's been controversy all over the internet as well.
Yes.
It seems like we're divided in it. I hated
so
it
8
as
or
well.
9? Oh, 8. Oh,
Episode
yeah.
8. No, I wasn't a fan either. I think it's a heavy-handed attempt to push it to next season.
No, I liked it because I think that it had to be put in there to show 11 what her powers could be used for and have her make the moral decision not to do that.
I agree 100%, but all of that crew was so stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, I just thought that
were
guy with the
terrible.
mohawk was like the worst actor I've fucking ever seen.
He was bad.
So terrible. I was
They-
like,
You know
I
what?
think
Jeff
it was
might know
purposely-
this.
compared to
It
the
was
rest of the-
purposely. I think they purposely did it that way, though.
So,
I
You know-
do. I think
Jeff,
they
you
did.
know what it reminded me of more than Warriors? Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors.
Yes.
I tell you,
That's
if
funny.
you watch that, it is almost like fucking character for character match.
The
that
big
movie.
black guy.
Yep, the guy with the
The
mohawk.
drug addict. The guy with the mohawk.
Yep.
Yes.
I would have liked the actual storyline of her going, meeting the sister, meeting your mom, hanging out with rebels, getting the new look, and actually wanting to kill people, but then deciding in her mind that it was bad. Like, all that was good. It was just that crew was so bad. They were hard to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we learned that Matthew Modine's still alive somewhere. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they opened the season with it too. It harkened back to them escaping, and I was wondering what that scene was because we went like 7 episodes,
Yeah.
and they didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden in 8, like we figure it out. So it's not that I have a problem with what they were trying to do to show 11's powers and the strength and everything. I just think they could have done it better.
I agree.
And not so heavy-handed because it's obvious they're pushing this into season 3 because you'll have Modine still alive and her sister
and
all that. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And it creates a new and if they do when they push into season 3, I wonder if that crew is going to be the human antagonist in season 3,
Right.
like Billy was, and then like Steve was in season 1.
I hope those people don't come back.
I know.
Maybe they get better acting coaches by then.
I think my final assessment is that it really boils down to those 5 kids.
Yes,
I mean it's really that's the driving force behind this show more so than the I guess the nostalgia at this point is the chemistry between those 5. Even that core.
Yeah, I think 8.
Actors.
Yeah, I think 8. I think
I mean, it's
Steve
just
and
Nancy.
Steve, Nancy, Jonathan,
and Mad Max. I liked her too.
I did like Max, and I think Hopper with him adopting 11 as his daughter.
Yeah,
I think
it's very
going to be
join back up because it sucked that they didn't get to reunite until episode 8 or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
But I love the dance. This dance.
Oh, the dance is awesome.
I
thought they had great music. I thought they did a really good music choice for a dance in the 80s.
I cried at the end of episode 8 and at the end of episode 9.
If you watch,
me too.
I watched Beyond Stranger Things. They talked about having the dance like as one of the first things circled on the board.
Yeah,
they're like, funny. We got to get to
so
Snowball.
bad for Justin.
I know.
Yeah, it's funny.
I knew Nancy was going to dance with him.
Yeah, she did.
All right.
Also, you can see David Harbour as Hellboy after watching
I agree.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah,
that's it.
This has been the Stranger
Things
Things Spectacular. It's been Comically Gaming, episode 78. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate y'all. Next week is Justice League.
It's going to be bitchin'.
Totally bitchin'.